can basically set your watch by it. It's clockwork. Nyjackie, Morgana, we're going to see some more pixel-perfect bindings. And Cop, I mean, he didn't do a bad job as Corki, I'll say that either.
When Nyjackie plays Morgana, you have to change how you initiate because his reaction times are so fast with Black Shield. Every time Maokai tries to do something with his Rue, every time a snowball comes out from, I believe, it'll be played by Inubish or Lotta Mortis, every time that snowball comes out, he will react fast enough just to Black Shield any sort of hard initiation. It is not easy to deal with.
Yeah, he's very, very quick like that. And actually, Corki switching up to Graves right there. Cop played an excellent Graves as well last game, trying to hit some long range. Actually, in the game 2, before we kind of had to remake game 2, he had a really long range collateral damage to snipe, and it was absolutely beautiful. So Maokai and Nunu being picked out, you could say maybe a support Maokai and jungle Nunu, but you got to send Maokai back to his home of the jungle. He's going to be friendly among those trees. And actually, will we perhaps see a Twisted Fate from Wild Turtle? We haven't really seen much Twisted Fate here. I know that we had the really, really good Twisted Fate player here the other day, but he was, of course, knocked out. Never was able to get to that level. But we could see a Twisted Fate here. And Legion, I believe, had a nice, last-minute Nexus backdoor with Twisted Fate before.
Game 1 versus MTW North America, they won the game with a Nexus backdoor after about 20 minutes of trying to push them in. Gragas being selected, Heimerdinger.
Do it. People want the Heimer.
I want to see the turrets. Come on. Don't
They're
do it loud.
it.
Aww. Hey, Gragas is awesome, though.
Gragas is awesome, but not as awesome as the Heimdanger. He is awesome. Look, you're already getting dissent from the crowd. They've turned on you, Legion. What are you going to do now? But Cruiser will be playing Aurelia. And Aurelia is actually more commonly respected as a pretty hard counter to Vladimir.
If the lane goes well, between level 1 and 5, eventually Aurelia will just be able to just hunt Vladimir down. He doesn't have the mobility. He can pull, but it's not going to be enough. Elements picking up Sona. We have seen Elements playing a lot of Sona recently. He is good with her. He can land the crescendos like crazy unless he completely whiffs them, which has happened. And he knows how to, control the lane with that power card, with that Hymn of Valor harass.
It's very, very scary when you're in the lane with it. And then we will have Skarner in the jungle being played by St. Fishes. He's played it a couple times. Not as famous for it as his Shyvana per se, but he can still land some nice flash grabs. And then Corki, perhaps to round out the lineup for LGN. So if it is Corki, which we're going to go ahead and talk about it, hoping that they actually pick it in and they don't troll us again. A Nunu Corki bot lane versus the Graves and Sona. Who do you give the edge to?
The problem is I can't actually give an edge to one team just because we don't know if it's going to be a 2v1 or a 2v2. Curse, every time they've been playing, I'd say 90% of the matches, it's been a 2v1 top lane, 1v2 bot lane, and they're good at it. If Legion can respond appropriately, get that 2v2. I like Nunu Corki. It's just strong, lots of DPS coming out. But, if Sona Graves can get that harass out, that's not easy to deal with.
If it comes down to a 2v1 situation or for both teams, who has the more aggressive tower pressure? Is it Corki Nunu with the Blood Boil, or is it Graves with the Wave Clear of Buckshot? That's a big difference there.
Corki does have a wave clear with Phosphorus Bomb, so there's a lot of possibilities. At the same time, Blood Boil, I think, would just be more turret damage in the end. I do think Westrice, though, he's playing Vladimir. He has a lot of wave clear up, with that transfusion, Tides of Blood. He's got options. Aurelia kind of has to get in there, to use her abilities until she hits level 6. So
it feels weird to have to talk about these because we're so used to the past months and months and months. We've always had 1v1 top, 2v2 bot, and then the 1v1 mid with the junglers. Things are starting to change, and things are starting to change quickly, especially at such a pivotal time. We've got PAX coming up, we got the regionals, we got the MLG Raleigh, and then we have, of course, other events all around the globe. But it's an interesting time for things to change, if you ask me. Do you think this is for the better, or do you think, the old style was the way to go?
Man, if everything stayed the same, this game would just be boring. This would be Twisted Fate nonstop. We're actually going into the game. It's going to be a pretty sweet setup, I think.
I hope so. This is going to be Team Legion versus Team Curse in the Losers Bracket Finals. Now, I want to separate the teams here and see if there are any Legion fans that actually want them to win this game and go up and face TSM again to perhaps take the grand finals. Let me hear you cheer. A little bit. And then maybe the hometown favorite. If anyone has an affinity for Curse, let's hear you guys cheer for this game. That pretty much was resounding, I would say. But then I also want to throw in, just if you guys are here to watch some great League of Legends actions with 2,000 of your closest friends, let's hear everyone cheer for some League of Legends, right, guys? Alrighty. This game is still loading up. We'll be in just a second. Should we talk about skins? Looks like Curse has the advantage in skins. Oh no, I'm sorry. Legion does. So Legion will take this game.
Wild Turtle is looking fabulous. You know, the skins, they are amazing. Riot's really improved them over the years, going from Rusty Blitzcrank all the way to things like Pulsefire Ezreal. We are in game now.
Will we see some level 1 aggression from either team? To me, I've pretty much cast every Curse game so far this tournament we have together, so we are very, very familiar with what they've been doing. Level 1, they like to go for a defensive Wraith ward, meaning they put a Wraith on their Wraith on their own ward. That's backwards. They put a ward on their own Wraith, but it looks like they're going to switch it up a little bit, perhaps go to the enemy race. They are pinging that brush. Will we see a level 1 fight here? Both teams may meet each other right here. They are unaware. The Sapperling is going to be a big determining factor here. He throws the Sapperling, is going to spot all 5 members of Curse. That is going to be a big deterrent. But will they perhaps go back in? Oh, second time's the charm, I suppose, unless he can throw another Sapling in there. Maokai, relatively well known for starting race with his Sapperlings, but if he uses enough to spot, then he's not going to have time to set enough at race to take it very, very quickly.
He does spot Curse trying to go for the invade. The ward has been placed, and Legion knows what's going on. That ward is very common, gives you a lot of information, and if you look actually, Legion themselves have placed a similar ward at Curse's Wraith. So both teams have a good idea of where the jungler is going to be, expecting these ganks, expecting any sort of invade. Yeah, and the ward there, is of course to spot the enemy jungler, but what it doesn't spot also gives you a lot of information. You know where the jungler is not as well, which is going to be really, really pivotal. But they see that Maokai looks like he's going to be starting those race, so they know exactly what his route is. It's usually race straight over to blue buff, but maybe could we see perhaps an early red buff and level 2 gank up top from Lauda It's always possible, but both teams are expecting the worst to happen.
Is Jackie going to steal the Wraith of the Dark Binding? Yes, he is, and there he goes. So the first creep kill of the game, a big creep onto Jackie. He is absolutely destroying the other AP mid with 1 CS right now. It's looking really, really good for him. Legion is going to come over and transition to their own blue buff. Lauda going to just throw a Sapperling and punch it, because that is what he does. We are going to see a 2v1 top for Curse and a 2v1 bot for Legion. Who do you think can sustain and work with it better, Aurelia or Vladimir?
Aurelia's going to have to deal with power chords, Hymns of Valor, bullets, bug shots, so many things going towards her face. At the same time, Vladimir, he does have transfusion. He has a bit more HP, should be able to survive a little bit more. And we see what is going to have. Noobish is actually coming behind Wester. He's going to throw the snowball just to say a hi, how you doing? He does take a tower hit and a big transfusion. Already down to 50% health. Going to have to burn one of his potions, but still, Westrice look like he's in a good place. Nunu can come up there and throw a few snowballs just to say, hey, I opened up a snowball stand, how don't you have some? But it's not going to pressure him that much. But actually, there's a flash aggression from Lanamortis. He will apply red buff, but a counter flash from St. Vicious will get him out of there. I believe Lanamortis actually did get that red buff from Saint. You steal a Wraith from me, I will steal a red buff from you, and Lanamortis making an aggressive stance here, actually heading towards the mid lane, could be going for a gank onto Jackie.
Looks like he's just going to walk on by, say, hey, how you doing, go back to his own race, and then perhaps get his own red. Do you think St. Vicious could be in a position to counter red buff there?
It's going to be tough because Lauda got the experience. He's just farther ahead right now, and a lot of damage was taken by Saint just trying to take it down. Up top, there may see a 2-on-2 between the jungler, the single solo top, and the duo. What will happen? The Eagle Earman Strike comes off, but it only slows. There's the Ignite, and the Exhaust will go down here. That is first blood. Can they make it a double kill? Chasing on to Elements. The Arcane Smash knock up. Red buff is applied. Forced to burn his flash. Will Blade Surge be up in time to take it off? One more hit. A nice area of perseverance. Will he go down? But will Cruiser take the tower instead? No. He only falls to about 200 HP. The first blood of this game being spilt by LG and Cruiser and Lauda. And that is what Legion wants this to start with, the aggression coming out. They've taken control of that top lane. Aurelia now has a lot of control. She'll have experience. She'll be level 6 and will actually be able to hold the 2v1 fairly well. Mid lane Wild Turtle taking a lot of damage, actually. The binding and pull hitting him quite hard. That's the thing with Gragas. If we're going to actually land something, it'll hurt. And bot lane being pressured quite a bit by Demon Lul and Noobish. Yeah, Westrice has already burned through all 3 of his potions. His only means of sustain now is the Tides of Blood and Transfusion, increasing his healing and regen from the Tides of Blood. And then, just using the Q just for good measure. But the Gragas versus Jackie's Morgana, we've seen that matchup a couple times. And where is it that Jackie can pull ahead that we've seen? Once Jackie hits level 6, if Wild Turtle ever gets out of position with that body slam, the ult's going to come down, he's just going to chase him down and murder him. That's what Jackie likes to do. If you are out of position, he will bind you, he will root you, he will apply his ultimate, and you will die.
Yeah, and I'm very excited. You know, like I said, I've seen Jackie beat the Gragas mid before, but I've also never seen Wild Turtle's Gragas, so maybe the man is just a machine.
I heard it's a bit wild.
It is a bit wild, and he's a tortoise. Lana Morris actually coming in for the tower dive here. The twisted advance and knockup will land on Element, but Lana Morris goes down himself. Will Cop be able to turn this around? He is double buffed. He's trying to chase on the Cruiser. The smoke screen to slow him down a little bit, but Cruiser just a hair too fast. He does have the Ninja Tabby. He had the boots too, move speed right there, but Westrite's actually in a bad way down here with the Gatling gun and auto attack damages of Demon Lull, but he's going to be okay at the safety of his own turret. He's got about 120 health. Do you think he'll be able to sustain up and stay in that lane, or is he going to go back and potentially lose his turret?
I mean, whatever he decides, he has to make sure that he has the backup. Skarner is around there to make sure that if there is any sort of turret dive, it will not result in his death. Actually spotting iNubish.
Looks like iNubish is going to find a little scorpion in the jungle, and St. Vish is just going to shield and get on out of there after taking a snowball. iNubish and Demon Lull going to pressure this turret now. Vladimir looks like he's recalling. It's quite off screen, but this is going to be a 2-on-1 again, but St. Vish is down here. The fact that he has to stay in this lane to defend this turret means that Lana Mortis, if he so desires, can get an easy gank up top, which it looks like it's actually going. He's twisted advance up top. Knock up again onto Elements. Elements is just eating those twisted advance and arcane smashes, and Jackie is not in mid lane to collapse on this. Elements could go down here. The Blade Surge and Equilibrium Strike with the Heat 10 style true damage will take him down. Man, Maokai he's setting up a camp up top, and he is doing so well.
Maokai's actually on permaban in Europe right now. It's really hard to get him into a game, and we're seeing why. He can gank so well with that twisted advance. Once he is on you, you cannot get him off just because of that arcane smash, keeping you slow, keeping you knocked up, and just keeping you in range of all that damage.
That's definitely how it works. He already has the Boots of Mobility and the Ruby Crystal, along with the Fairy Charm. So foregoing an early Philo Stone, from that early kill, and just saying, I just want to move as fast as possible. I want to go fast. And that is exactly what he's doing, and it is paying dividends for him right now. An interesting choice to go for the Boots of Mobility over the Philo Stone, just because it pays off in the end. But I mean, it's his shoes. You can't complain about those.
Hey, it's working. He's 1-1-3. That is a lot of kills for the passive game we've been seeing out of Curse lately.
Yeah, and Jackie, using that expert positioning that we saw just last game, he likes to stay right behind that kind of torch and just throw out blind dark bindings because you can't dodge what you can't see. And Wild Turtle, but he's playing well because he's staying behind his own creeps, and he's actually waiting for those dark bindings to come out before he decides to body slam in and CS a little bit.
He's playing safe, and normally a lot of Gragases there would actually body slam to CS, then you know what, Jackie goes to town, applies his ultimate, lands the binding, usually gets a kill.
Yeah, because Jackie is level 7 now, so it's very, very scary. That option is on the table for him. Up top, early Dragon from LGN, Lana Mortis is going to start that up. There are 2 people up top, so this is obviously in the advantage of LGN. Will Curse be able to collapse on it? Here comes Jackie and Vladimir. It doesn't look like it's St. Vish is a little bit too far away unless Jackie goes absolute man mode. Will there be a dark binding? Will he steal that dragon? Who will be the Dragon Slayer today? Can he? Dark binding smite.
Oh.
Lana Mortis smites a little early, giving the kill to Corky, but that gave room for a dark binding to potentially steal that.
That was almost Tormented Soil stealing it, actually. Just a split second just too soon.
That would have been absolutely clutch. But I mean, that's what happens when your enemy opponent, redundant, has a 2v1 up top. You have an advantage down bot because you have your own 2v1 down bot, and you can take Dragon as much as you want because they're just so far away. And no teleports either.
That's actually originally why it became a 2v2 in the bot lane. That's why it was like that for about a year before we started transitioning out of that meta.
Yeah, and is it just the case that teams start to realize the value maybe lies in towers rather than those early dragons?
That's what they've been thinking lately, but we don't see any turrets being taken right now. The defense from Irelia and Vladimir has been very solid. The 9-minute mark is actually pretty late for a turret to go down from Curse's latest strategies. And
St. Vicious already has his own oracles. I don't believe there's an oracles on the side of LGN. Let's take a look. Lana Mortis does not have one. So the jungler, St. Vicious, here he comes. He is level 6. Will he be able to lock onto Wild Turtle? There's the flash, but the body slam in response. Wild Turtle able to get out of there with his life, but Lana Mortis has blood in his eyes. He has the boots of mobility. Will he be able to get there? No, it does not look like it. And Wild Turtle, he is holding on to his ultimate because he kind of respects the quick reflexes of Nia Jacky. We've seen Nia Jacky many times apply Black Shield while Gragas' ultimate is in the air to mitigate the kind of position disruption.
Actually, against Orbit, that was the case. They could never get a good initiation off. Actually, Invasion onto the red buff has been spotted by Curse. They're trying to collapse around it. 3 members coming in from Curse, 4 members coming in from Legion. They do snag it. Seems like they're just going to back right on out of there. So far, St. Vicious hasn't been able to touch his own red buff. Dark Binding? Nope. Just going to pass right on by. Wild Turtle stutter steps a little bit to put a ward in that bottom brush.
Still 2v1 up top. Aurelia, is she doing well for herself? She has 52 CS compared to the 2v1 down bot of 30 CS for Vladimir. He did buy that Doran's shield and that amplifying tome, while Aurelia has a Phage, has Ninja Tabby, and has a Doran's blade.
Aurelia is actually doing very solidly, 24 CS above Vladimir. That's a lot.
And, she's 3-0-1.
Oh, yeah,
no big deal.
That's pretty good, pretty good.
Those ganks from Lotta Mortis are paying off hugely. He's just getting his 2v1 up to the speed of a 1v1 pretty much, and it's working really, really well. Vladimir very, very, very far behind in that respect. And Dark Binding just landing out Dark Bindings right now. With that blue buff, he can throw them out however often that he wants, and he's just waiting for that time to use his ultimate. Just waiting for Wild Turtle to go in CS.
Wild Turtle playing very safely, knows something is up, just goes ahead, throws down his barrel, drinks a bit, and plays safe. And this is what we've been seeing lately. You get a bit of an advantage, you play safe. You don't go for those crazy risks, because if you die in lane, you can throw away so much advantage you've gained.
Looks like Graves is 1-1-0 with 73 CS to the 77 CS of Corki, who is 0-0-0. No real definitive build prediction from Corki so far, but that pickaxe on Cop tells me he could be going for an Infinity Edge. How do you feel about him building an Infinity Edge if Corki was supposed to go to a Trinity Force route?
Well, normally what you do as Graves, especially when you're 2v1 like this, you should be getting a lot more farm and possibly kills onto someone like Cruiser. So he should be going for the Infinity Edge just because he'll get it fast. He'll be doing so much more damage so quickly. While Corki, if he gets a Triforce, he's going to be pretty tanky, have good control with the Triforce procs, but it won't actually be that effective. Lottamore's actually going for a gank on the top lane. Can he get the root onto Elements? He's just out of range. He actually does get the root off. The smash does land. Elements doesn't have his ultimate yet. Lots of damage coming onto him. Can they get the kill? Elements does go down. Will Cop chase? He will back off.
Elements 0-4-1 right now. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yes, still level 5. Hasn't even had the 6th mark. Because he just keeps getting ganked by Lotta Mortis. Lotta Mortis is really, really putting the pressure on up top. He's saying, you want a 2v1 up there? I'll come and make it a 2v2, and we'll see how you do. And so far, Sona and Graves are not looking so good. Nubish and Demon Lull, first turret of the game goes down, that tier 1 bot turret. Jackie goes back. Skarner's going to cover the mid lane. Maokai is just farming his own race. Demon Lull's going to take this opportunity to go back and perhaps purchase. Maybe would he go for a Phage this route, or do you think he's going to stay true and go for an Infinity Edge and chase that Graves?
Probably go for an Infinity Edge. Yep, there's the pickaxe. He needs the damage. He's ahead. He knows he is. They have the kills. They have the dragon. And they have that turret too. And now that that bottom turret is down, I wouldn't be surprised to see actually Corki and Nunu go mid lane or top lane just to keep that pressure up.
And Jackie taking a lot of damage from those barrels. Wild Turtle does have a needlessly large rod already, only to Jackie's blasting one. They both have the double Dorans. Jackie actually going boots 2, which is something we don't always see. He usually stays boots 1 for a long time, but a lot of Legion is actually near this mid lane. Jackie is going to spot them with that ward. They want this blue buff, so Lotta Mortis doing a great job of timing all the buffs and not giving a single one to Curse so far. It's not looking good, but Nubish caught in a Dark Binding. Going to tick down with a Tormented Soil, but it looks like he's going to be A-okay. Saintfish tries going for a steal, but he is actually going to get the short end of that stick. There's the Blade Search, an Equilibrium Strike, but he's able to get away. The Gragas Barrel actually knocks him to safety. Jackie may fall after the Soul Shackles. Will Cruiser be able to follow up on that? No. And Lattimortis falls to Westrice. Westrice in a bad place with the Sanguine Pool, but Cop still very, very healthy. But Sona, she is very low on mana. Can they do anything here? Cruiser now in a 3-on-1 situation in the enemy jungle. Will he be able to escape? Nunu, do you really want to go back in there? Do you want to snowball and take an extra buckshot? Looks like he does not. Cruiser, you are going man mode. Where are you going to die? Will you die? You are just escaping the enemy jungle. This is the great escape right there. And Cruiser makes it out of that with his life with only 200 health. Couldn't have seen that one coming.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get a good replay of that going on screen. That was an amazing fight coming out from Curse. I don't know if he can get it on, so we'll just have to actually avoid that for now. But that play coming out, they had a lot going on to Morgana. They tried to get it done, but it just did not work. NY Jackie getting such a good ultimate off. Oh, there we go. So it comes out. The blue is being attacked right now by Legion. They're able to secure it. Everybody's grouped up. Nubish caught to the side. Doesn't really matter though because they're focusing on the blue buff. They decide to initiate onto St. Vicious now, doing quite a bit of damage. A lot of Morris immediately just goes for that binding, and an instant impale comes out from St. Vicious, just trying to keep himself alive. This lets Jackie get into the middle of everybody, getting this awesome ultimate off. Everybody's focusing, but Elements with a crescendo over the wall just CCs. Everybody lets that damage go from Jackie, and he barely walks away as Cruiser trying to do anything he can. With that, Curse, they group up. and they just take out everybody left with West Bryce using Sanguine Pull to dodge the absolute zero from Noobish and just clean up from here.
Yeah, and Demon Low will be the last one to fall on that one. So we'll actually jump right back into live, see what's going on in the rest of this game. It looks like Lotomortis just finishing off that family of wolves. What did they ever do to you, sir? 1-1-2 for Vladimir, 58 CS. To the other solo lane, Aurelia, 86 CS, 4-0-2. She is almost getting that Trinity Force. She just needs to pick up a Zeal and then 300 extra gold. She will be very, very scary.
That she will, even with that fight, even with Curse getting just those 3 solid kills, they're still behind about 3,000 gold at this point. It's quite a large number for only the 15-minute mark. You know, one good fight and a dragon or just even turrets can easily bring that down, though.
You know, Gragas is only 0-1-0 with 125 CS, you know, to Jackie's 1-0-2 with 128 CS. His ultimate is really, really key in these team fights. Who's going to be the more scary AP mid coming into a 5-on-5 team fight?
If Jackie is paying attention, has the reaction times, he can Black Shield anything Wild Turtle wants to do. So unless Wild Turtle gets a really good, you know, barrel just to break the Black Shield, it's going to be all Jackie.
All right, we'll see what happens when the time does come. Dragon should be up in just a little bit. Nunu does have a GP10 ticking, while Maokai does have 2 for himself. GP10's looking at Curse. It looks like you have 2 onto Maokai, or Skarner rather, and 2 onto Sona. So they're sitting about even as far as GP10s are concerned. And those will start ticking, and those will start making a big impact later in the game.
It's how teams have been staying relevant, actually. We've seen a few turnarounds just because one team would stack GP10 items and go for that late game engage when you see thousands of gold just earned from nothing but GP10s.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive to see. Got the Needlessly Large and the Amplifying Tome there on Gragas, along with the double Dorans. What are we going to see him build? Is this going to be a Zania's or just a Death Cap, or they just pick it up just for some light reading?
That will probably turn into a Cage's Lucky Pick, eventually a Deathfire Grasp. We've seen that burst combo where you use a DFG into the Gragas Soul, into a Gragas Barrel, you know, body slam for good measure, and ignite if they're still somehow alive, and you die. That's what Gragas does. He kills you with all of his abilities, doing immense amounts of damage, having incredibly good AP ratios.
And Lotomortis with that Oracles now he's just been living in that bottom jungle of Curse. Westrice, what are you doing? You're about to meet a few members of LGN. Hey, welcome to the party. There's a snowball. The Hemo Plague used defensively, and the Sanguine Pool. What's going to happen? He will go down very quickly to 3 members of LGN who have pretty much set up a camping ground in the Curse bottom jungle because of that alleviated pressure. I believe up top, actually, we have some action going on between Cruiser and 3 members of Curse. We can actually hopefully cut back to that in a second for a quick replay after that kill onto Wester's down bot. Meantime, Curse going to pressure up this top turret. Not just pressure, take it down. LGN also taking down. We're going to go ahead and jump right to that instant replay to see exactly what we missed up top.
So the first thing that happened is Cruiser went aggressive, but guess what? Same Vicious was there looking for the gank. The exhaust is used onto Cruiser. He tries to escape, but you know what? There's just too much CC. Fights there. The Sona Crescendo comes out, and they just take him out.
Wow, they used a lot of ultimates to secure that kill, but looks like they did take down Tier 1 top turret. Tier 3 bot turret for LGN. Looks like it took a little bit of damage after they killed that Tier 2 after securing the kill onto Westrice. Wild Turtle putting on some damage. Demon Law is going to Valkyrie over that wall just to help him out. And that turret will go down. So now we have 3 turrets on the advantage of LGN to 1 of Curse, 2 kills, and about 4K gold.
Don't forget the one dragon they took early too, and they're going to go top lane. They just want to take out these turrets, actually take out this blue buff. This is the last time they fought with Curse, just going for the blue buff, and it was greatly in their favor. Will they actually go for it again, and will it be the same?
But look how far away Vladimir is to this fight. Lotomortis does get bound, and it goes down very, very quickly. Not even the Twisted Advance intangibleness can save him from that. And Nubish with a nice long-range auto attack from Sona. She is going to start to carry this game, and a nice stutter step from Demon Lull will actually get him away from that Dark Binding. So even without Vladimir, Curse came out on top of that with some great stuff.
And you know, that is just Jackie. Every time Jackie lands a binding, he follows it up with Tormented Soil, and the damage is just insane. If he gets the Soul Shackles off and gets the full channel, you are stunned. You are just helpless as the rest of Curse will just group up and murder you.
Yeah, that's every member of the team. And Soul Shackles, of course, slows your movement speed if it's applied to you. And Curse is just like, all right, we can follow up on that. Between Graves, Quick Draw, Sona Crescendo, they have a lot of stuff to lock you down. This game is just even. I mean, this is just 3K gold in the advantage of LGN, just because really of the Dragons, 7-7 as far as kills are concerned. But the fights have been in the advantage of Curse so far.
And just looking at the gold overall, right now there's a lot of gold on the Graves, a lot of gold on the Corki. Just the APs and the ADs have so much cash, which is scary for both teams because, you know, if Graves gets free shots off, if Corki gets those free shots off, they will just melt people at this point.
Yes, they will. The Infinity Edge was just completed onto Corki. Graves does have his as well, including the Vamp Scepter and the Dagger. So we'll see the normal kind of Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer rush that a lot of AD carries do. Except for Corki. Corki usually goes for a Trinity Force, but it's interesting to see him going Infinity Edge. You said before, it's just because he was so far ahead, or you felt that he was in that 2v1 lane. He just wanted to put out as much damage as possible with his auto attacks.
Hopefully Vladimir's not able to 2v1 or 1v2 in the bot lane. That's what they were looking for with that. I mean, he's got that Vamp Scepter just in case, and Dragon should be responding soon. Looks like a lot of pressure coming out from both teams as Curse and Legion converge around that area.
Jackie has his Abyssal Scepter and his Spell Pin Boot, so he's not only going to take less damage from Gragas's abilities, he's also just going to deal a lot more damage, and it's not going to be good for Legion. As all Cruiser the Bruiser does want to get in on this. He is on Aurelia. You know, she's a very, very in-your-face kind of top laner. We'll see if they can make something happen with this dragon fight. LGN slowly making their way. Curse just biding their time with a speed up from Elements. The Hymn of Celerity. Will they be able to catch anyone? Coming from behind. Might be a flank here. Will Legion see it? Will Demon Lord get caught?
Can you get
the
out?
Dark Binding? No, nothing. They didn't even go on it. They decided against it. So Curse just second guessing themselves, I guess, wanting to save all of their abilities for a bigger fight. I mean, that was like a Corki served up on a silver platter from what it seemed.
That was 300G just waiting to go to Curse
Again,
at that point.
Will they fall for it twice? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Will they get it? They're coming to this dragon. They're pretty far away. That tier 1 turret is still there, but it looks like they're just going to go towards the dragon pit. LGN, no vision of them whatsoever. What's going to happen? Saint Vicious, when will you make your move? When will you strike? Stalking his prey.
They have to defend because they will push down this turret unless
Oh, there he goes, and he is spotted. He does have the Oracles, which is worth a good bit of money. He doesn't want to lose that investment. But man, LGN is between a rock and a turret right here. The flash, but the counter flash body slam from Wild Turtle puts a lot of distance for a 5-man Hemo Plague. And there's the absolute seal. The Gragas ultimate disengages from Westrice. Westrice falls. And then a lot of damage. There goes Nunu. Morgana. This is great for LGN. They're starting to clean up right now. Cruiser the Bruiser absolutely zoning Elements from the fight. But Cop, can you clean up? Can you do it? No. Janitor Cop has to quit the job. He's not on tenure just yet.
On. You gotta
Elements,
go away. You gotta
get out of there.
Elements.
Use your move speed. The Twisted Advance will land with the Arcane Knockup. There it is, catching Elements in a bad place. Absolutely fantastic team fight from Legion.
And we definitely have to take another look at that. Great play. Great play coming out. Let's go ahead and just take another look at it. So right now, Legion rushing towards this turret, trying to go ahead, put some push on as Curse comes in from behind. Both teams just not confident to initiate. Eventually, Wild Turtle takes a drink, baits out the flash from St. Vicious. The binding does not land, but Westrice with that amazing 5-man Hemo Plague just completely shuts it down. The crescendo was just not enough because Wild Turtle launches everybody far away, his ultimate doing immense amounts of damage, and just the AoE and burst from Gragas takes out Westrice. It takes out Jackie with Demon Lord supporting in the back. At the same time, though, St. Vicious and Cop are just not harmed, doing so much DPS. St. Vicious does get taken down, but Cop finally shoots down Demon Lord just because he had that time in the back to go ahead and continually do that damage. Just amazing play from both sides as Elements try to float on, but, well, Golems will spawn and dance in the middle of that, and rest in peace, Elements.
A 5-man Hemo Plague turned into a fight that Legion actually won. I thought it was bad news all over for that. St. Vicious waiting for the Smite steal. He does have it up. Will he be able to calculate it? There's the Gragas ultimate. And then the Vengeful Maelstrom on top of that, reducing a lot of the damage from Jackie's ultimate. He does stun Laudamortis. The Transfuge will finish him off. And a flash to dodge that big one from Corki. But the Valkyrie hot in pursuit. A long-range missile will get the double kill. And now Cop, what are you going to do? Blade Surge and Equilibrium Strike will stun you. Can Demon Lord Wild Turtle follow up on this? The quick draw to safety, trying to get there. Did he dodge him? A nice Dark Binding almost saves him, locking down his pursuer of Cruiser, but the entire rest of the team of Legion could not be stopped, and they take an absolutely fantastic dragon fight for their advantage.
And now a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Legion, about to be 6,000. They are looking so strong right now. Wild Turtle on Gragas, he's just getting these good ults, getting this just high damage out, and I don't know if Curse can deal with it right now.
Yeah, it's great because it's high damage and it's just such a stupid position disruptor.
You are just in the worst position. All of a sudden, you're drunk to the side, to the corner, just like, where am I? How did I get here? What did I drink last night?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane in that respect. The Abyssal Scepter pickup from Jackie is interesting. He builds it a lot, but in the, like 2 team fights ago, I feel like if he may have favored Azania's Hourglass at that point in time.
Azania's would be awesome because you can press that 2, press 1, whatever you bound it to. Guess what? You're sitting there. You cannot be moved or damaged by anything coming out from Gragas. And your ult has a good chance to actually finish channeling. The problem with Abyssal is he has tankiness, yeah, but there's just too much damage overall coming out. The MR is just not enough.
Yeah, you see the 5, 1, and 7 Aurelia with 133 CS. She's actually got the makings of what looks to be a Guardian Angel. So if you weren't killing her before, you're definitely not going to kill her now. It's going to be absolutely brutal for Team Curse. The DFG now finished onto Gragas with the Rabadon's Death Cap. That is going to be hitting for a large percentage of an enemy's health. You know, Vladimir may perhaps be the main target because he does scale with his Crimson Pact. He gets a lot of health. But I mean, Gragas, he can just throw that thing around and it will deal damage. That's
and
just
actually,
facts.
Vladimir only has that 1 Negatron cloak for magic resist, so the burst coming out from Gragas is going to be high. It's just, I mean, that's the thing. Gragas will do amazing damage. You have to punish him for being a melee character. You have to punish him because he has relatively long cooldown for his normal spells, but it's just not happening right now.
Yeah, 1, 4, and 12 as well on Maokai. A lot of Mortis. He's playing exceptionally well. Will Legion run into Curse coming into their own jungle? They will spot Curse with that ward. And Sapperlings are playing a key role in this game. They're just free, tiny little wards.
You know, having the ability to just keep every entrance blocked off. Curse has never really gotten a good, pin. Even that fight bot lane, I think Legion was actually baiting that out. So every time Curse goes for that fight, that surprise, there's a sapling, there's a ward, there's, Corki firing rockets to try and get that sound, that vision.
Right now, Curse looks like they're pinging around the Baron area. Wild Turtle going to go ahead and refresh his blue buff right there. Maokai is going to push the mid. He's got the boots of mobility, which are really paying off. He has gained a lot of move speed. He's been able to catch a lot of targets with them, which has been crucial for Legion. Just barely dodges that Dark Binding. The wine caskets thrown out from Wild Turtle will clear that creep wave, followed by the body slam. 184 CS on Graves to the 184. They're absolutely pretty much dead even, Corki and Graves, except Graves is 4-2 and 7 to Corki's 6-2 and 2.
And there's also the turrets, the dragon. There's a lot of global gold right now in favor of Legion, giving them that little extra edge in terms of items.
Yes, they are up, totally up. About 5k gold, and Curse has little to no vision. It is going to be disrupted right here when Nubish takes that ward. So Curse right now, absolutely blind. They know that Legion is around this area. They do have one ward right there, but they're blind. They can't see any members of Legion on the map right now. What will they do? Jackie, will you face check a brush? What's going to happen? Wild Turtle, the entirety of Legion waiting, just patiently waiting in this brush. That's the most important thing. A lot of Mortis. Will you get Dark Bound and Torment and Soil? The crescendo follow-up onto 4 members of Legion. But both teams, no one really going all the way in. Curse is, I guess, kind of in a bad place. He pops his Shirley, is trying to catch a Demon Low, but the Valkyrie will get him out of there. And now, what will Curse do? What will LGN do? I mean, LGN is spectacular in team fights. Crescendo is down, you're absolutely right. Another Dark Binding Tormented Soil with an Impale from St. Vicious. And now Jackie is in the middle of the team with Soul Shackles, proccing on a Wild Turtle and Cruiser. Wild Turtle falls. And here's the absolute zero, slowing the move speed of St. Vicious. Will they be able to catch him? Yes, they do. And now Westeros, what are you going to do in a 1-on-3 situation? Can Vladimir take this out with his Tides of Blood and Transfusion? A nice flash. The Snowball will follow, and the Valkyrie to follow up for a double kill. Corki taking him down. Legion is a monster in team fights.
And they take out Maokai, but Maokai just isn't the person you want to focus. He's too tanky. He may have gotten for the mobility boots, but you know what? He's still a tanky character, even if he can't get that ultimate off. Legion taking out this next turret, just trying to get a nice solid lead. They're already ahead, 7,000 gold. All of a sudden, Baron's going to be easy for them to take. They're going to get that big old creep wave building up at the top lane as Nunu's heading towards there, and they're just getting all the farm, all the gold they can. This is scary for Curse. They keep trying things, but it's just not working. They don't have the vision. They don't have the damage right now.
Yeah, they are very, very down. But I mean, what is their hope? What can they do to come back into this game against Legion? Because Legion is looking good.
Normally, it's going to be something like, oh yeah, get a good binding, just focus them out. But that's what they got in a lot of Morris. Even with the Impale, it's just not enough. Unless something like Demon Lol walking into the enemy team just, on his own happens. Right now, Curse, they have to make some big AoE play while somehow getting rid of just Wild Turtle's high damage.
Yeah, but can they really even go for a big AoE play with Maokai's ultimate down? It's a scary thing to walk
with
into.
Maokai's ultimate, and if they go for the AoE, guess what? You're knocked around by Gragas. So it's not easy. Curse, though, they're smart. They can think of something.
Yeah, but I mean, LGN is riding a wave of success right now. They're looking so good. They, like we said, they were knocked down here by the mighty TSM, who are going to be in the grand finals. So we will see if we will have a rematch up there, but they have to get through this opponent of Curse right now. But right now, it's looking very good. You do have the Infinity Edge and the Negatron Cloak. Corki, I'm assuming, is probably going to go for a Quicksilver Sash to get out of the Dark Bindings and Soul Shackles and whatnot, and the Skarner Impale.
There's
don't
so
think
many
about
skills. Once that QS is on him, it's like, I can get away from everything. I'm Corki. I'm just going to shoot you some more. And it's hard to deal with. Once you reach this point in the game where the carries start getting lots of items, the Black Shield's going to be awesome for Graves, but if Corki is able to just do that free farm, because he has the kills, because he has that extra global gold, he's going to do more than Graves can.
Yeah, and these two AD carries are staying neck and neck for CS, 207 to 208 right now. He just ticked up one. That's quite all right. And Jackie, 4-2-7, 198 CS to 247 CS at Gragas. He is absolutely destroying in farm and kills and team fight potential. I mean, like I said, I never saw Wild Turtles Gragas before this, but I'm scared.
ARAMs, man, that's where you got to practice it.
Apparently.
Third dragon being taken by Legion. They keep taking these dragons. What we saw from Curse last game, what we saw from Singapore Sentinel, what we saw from Lee. Whichever team is dominant, they just kind of scoop up every dragon they possibly can, and it's a lot of gold. It builds up so quickly, and they're ahead now at 8,000 golds. That number keeps going higher and higher.
They did spot that ward, and they gave a little tri-punch to it, and it went down in one fell swoop. They did not spot the ward that is just north of them, however, for Curse. Curse going to ward up that brush as well, but they did spot it with their own ward, of course, so LGN is just waiting. Do they want to go into it? Do they want to take down that ward in the vision, or are they going to risk a Dark Binding from NY Jackie? This is basically the same position we were in last time. Curse is aware. They do also see Aurelia does have her GA now. Is this going to be another flank? It's just the game of flanks right now, it seems.
Oh, Binding is down as well as Tormented Soul. It's going to be kind of tricky for Curse.
There's a flash aggression for Vladimir, locking down St. Vicious. Jackie, in the meantime, is in the back lines with his Soul Shackles, proccing on 3 members of LGN. St. Vicious is the first to fall in this fight. Jackie will follow shortly thereafter. Westrites with his own Zanyas, but how long will it protect him for? Not very long. They were just waiting for that stasis to come up. And Elements with a nice long-range flash over that wall will get him out of harm's way. Nubish in hot pursuit, but it looks like they're just going to either transition to Baron or start pushing up that mid lane. Baron, it looks like. Baron's and pretty easy stuff right here just because of the new Consume Smite. We're going to go right back to a replay to check out that team fight.
And so it started, with the initiation coming in from Legion. They're like, they're pushing our turret. We got to stop them. Jackie misses the binding, though. He misses the soil, and 2 important skills are down. Vladimir goes into the entire enemy team, gets all their attention, gets the focus onto himself, has the ultimate down. Jackie tries to get a good ult off, doesn't get Corki, though. And with his Zonias, the rest of Legion is able to disengage. Curse and Cop get knocked back in the meantime, and as the damage comes out, they can't keep anybody locked down onto Legion, and Demon Lord will clean up. They'll just clean up with everything, just too much damage coming out. And actually, as this happened, Baron was taken by Legion.
Jump right back on the live to see what they're doing with that Baron buff. Looks like still pretty much the same old, except, of course, that they do have Baron now. Baron being taken off the map. 7 kills in the advantage of Legion. They're up about 11k gold. Again, keep reiterating, it's looking really good. You got the GA on Aurelia, along with the Trinity Force, the Negatron Cloak. I'm feeling we're going to see a few Quicksilver Sashes this match.
QSS, it will shut down Skarner, it will shut down Morgana. That's the only way to get out Morgana's ultimate, aside from the flash, or just leaving the area. It's tricky right now for Curse because their initiation, their cool tools like Hemo Plague and Morgana's ultimate, they're getting denied. Yeah. They have to find maybe a Baron skill is possible. Now Legion has Baron. Now Legion not only has a huge gold lead, but the huge stats coming in, and this is like the guillotine falling. Right now, Curse is in a dangerous position. If they make one small mistake, they can lose an inhibitor, possibly lose the game.
2 Quicksilver Sashes already finished on Team Legion, so they're not going to be good targets for an Impale from Skarner, nor a Dark Binding, but sometimes you can't be very picky with that stuff. Sometimes you just got to get what you could get. Beggars can't be choosers. Aurelia, there's the flash Dark Binding onto Anubis, bringing him right back into the thick of things with Curse, but he is able to get out of there. And now Cruiser with the Hemo Plague on himself. There's a Crescendo trying to lock down members, but Demon Law actually decides to QSS that. Westrice taking out Anubis, their original target from the very start. And Wild Turtle able to body slam out of there as well. So a 1-for-0 exchange in the favor of Curse.
This isn't over yet, though. Westrice possibly caught a position. He does get CC. The Zonius is down. Can Curse show up to back him up? He does use a pull. This is a great delay.
Let's see what happens. He's just going to get out of there. Wow, a nice Zanya straight into his Sanguine Pool. And then the pressure of the rest of his team completely deters Legion from continuing that fight. I thought as soon as I saw Zanyas, he was going to be a sitting duck after that. But he is Vladimir, and he's got that Troll Pool.
Troll Pool OP. And right now, Curse, they do have that one person advantage, but it's still scary. There's still just so much and elements out of mana, actually.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big thing. Can't spam all of his hymns and songs and little ditties just yet. He may have to go back to get some mana, but in the meantime, LGN's not letting him go back. They have Baron. They have a percentage-based mana and health regen, additional ability power, and additional attack damage, so they can stay here, they can siege, and they can do whatever they want. They can outlast. This is going to turn into a war of attrition.
And you know, they do have a Sona, but like I said, there is no mana, and Baron buff provides quite a bit of regeneration. A lot of HP coming back on Legion just for being alive.
A lot of Mortis running past the tower. Who does he want to hit with that twisted advance? No one just yet. He just want to kind of bully them off the tower. Westrice will get spotted, but a lot of Mortis again with the Impale. Nah, Jackie, will he go down for Soul Shackles? No, the perfect Zanya's Hourglass underneath his turret. There goes Maokai. Skarner falls, Morgana falls, and Legion. Will they be able to clean up here? 3 members of Curse are left. Westrice turning on the aggression. The Wild Turtle with a body slam. Will he walk in the barrel? He does! Westrice, what were you doing? You didn't need any booze. You were going to die. And he goes down very, very quickly. And now Legion going to take this tier 2 turret. Again, Legion Cruiser hasn't popped his GA yet.
They cannot kill anybody. They're getting these nice picks. You know, you kill Maokai, you kill Nunu, that's okay, but the real threats are Corki, Gragas. You know, Cop, he's got to do something right now because that turret goes down, the inhibitor goes down, the map is gone, they can't leave their base. They're going to be scared of a fat man coming out of the bushes and getting them drunk.
That is the scariest thing. I worry about that every day of my life, but the top inhibitor will be taken, and now blue buff being pinged by Curse, knowing that that is pretty much Legion's next move to go take their blue buff. They've done it all the time, but Curse not going to be able to contest that whatsoever.
A 13,000 gold lead in favor of Legion. You know, it's really kind of just that one big play that Curse needs to make. What that big play is, though, it doesn't make sense for them to do really anything. If they go for a binding, there's Quicksilver Sashes. If they go for a hard initiate, there's a Gragas ultimate. Legion just has an amazing composition right now, and they're playing it to their fullest.
Yes, indeed they are. The Maokai, the Gragas, the Corki that just stays very, very far away, shoots his missile and his Phospho Bomb. Then you got Aurelia, who just is so adept at just getting in there. You know, especially with the GA, she's not scared. She's not scared whatsoever. She will stick to whomever she pleases, and she will take them down very, very quickly. Nunu does have the Aegis of the Legion rocking for his team. Also Maokai, a double Aegis of the Legion, actually. So no matter where you are, as long as you're with a Yeti or a tree, you are always protected there. They're actually going to go ahead and take this dragon with those Sapperlings. Curse, none the wiser. I do not think they have any vision whatsoever on this, and that's just going to be another dragon for Legion, putting them now in a very, very good position. It's going to be 15k gold advantage, huh?
Took a second.
14k.
14k.
Math, not my strong suit.
14.5k maybe? I don't know, but it's a big number, and it's just something that when you see, it's hard to deal with.
It's a large deficit.
There are Quicksilver Sashes. Corki right now actually has
Westrice,
almost a full item.
Are you recalling? I hope you are recalling Westrice. Okay, he did. Okay, good. They were trying to come for another flank. This game is just all about positioning, and LGN has done it so expertly so far. They're always just where you least expect them. They're always coming from behind. They're always in a brush somewhere. They are just running this map and running this game right now. They do not have an Oracles. They're not able to clear any of the wards. But there's the barrel. They're just going to pressure bot lane while top lane pushes. That's it. They're saying, Curse, come at me. What's going to happen here? Are you going to engage on this underneath your turret? Are you going to let your top lane push? I mean, what can Curse do to stop this?
If they try and defend their Nexus, they actually risk losing that bottom turret because it'll be a 4v5. If they don't defend the Nexus, it will start dying. They will lose turrets, and that's just going to be a huge problem. They won't be able to leave their base. So
who's going to engage on this? Is St. Fisher's going to be the one to pull someone? Is he going to flash pull? He does have his flash up. He does have his ultimate up. Just biding his time right now, taking huge damage, absolutely being chunked right there. There's their Gragas ultimate, just for good measure. I'm going to just make them say, hey, you guys, just go back to your Nexus and let us take this turret, please. Have a few drinks, loosen up a little bit. Why not? Cruiser still with that GA. Still so scary. I think that's who I'm scared of the most. He is absolutely devastating. There's the Vengeful Maelstrom. A lot of more is going in. They want this turret. The wave clear is actually still really good between Buckshot, Tides of Blood, and they just can't. They don't have Baron, of course, so they can't win that war of attrition anymore. They can't sustain out. But they're just going to sit here again. The nice dark binding onto Inubish, but again, kind of the wrong targets.
Anything they could get is just going to be incredibly difficult. If they get that binding, all right, it's on Inubish, but anybody else will have that QSS. And Gragas, he uses ult just for damage. It's back up, actually binding on a Wild Turtle. Will they do anything with it, though?
Will it happen? Wild Turtle getting absolutely chunked by just some pokes, some Tormented Soil, some buckshots, and Tides of Blood. But they're going to pull out of this Legion. But no, there's St. Fisher saying, where are you going? Nowhere. Locking down Inubish with the crescendo. Hemoplague is on 4 members of Curse, of Legion. Now Cruiser doing work in the back lines. Demon Lull saying, I am going to take you down, Vladimir. Zanya's Hourglass. Will he get into the alcohol, though? What will happen? No, Cruiser gets taken down with the Sanguine Pool. Maokai falls shortly thereafter. Demon Lull. Will he get taken down by Cop? Cop does not have his collateral damage, and I don't think he can catch up to the speedy Corki with the Valkyrie and whatnot. And that was a great fight by Curse.
Now let's go ahead and take a good look at how that actually started. We're going to
Let's
go ahead
go
and take a look
ahead
at the replay. So the first thing we see is we do have St. Vicious initiating with that flash over the wall, catching Inubish by surprise. Nobody expecting that. That one little corner being enough to actually close the distance. The fight starts, the crescendo hits 2 people. NY Jackie just goes in front of everybody. Wild Turtle low from before, can't actually stay in the fight. That's the QSS, get right on out of there. Cruiser does dive into the enemy team, but there's just too much damage coming out. And the Hemo play combined with Jackie's ult combined with just everything on Curse finally pays off. Cruiser dies in the middle of everybody. When he respawns, he just immediately dies. And Westrise able to go ahead and survive Demon Lull with that Sanguine Pull and an amazing flash when he comes out of it. A lot of Morris did come from the side, but did get picked off.
Yeah, that Zanya's Sanguine Pool is looking really, really strong and doing wonders for Westrise right now. We'll go ahead and jump right on back to live, see what's going on in the game after that replay. We are going to be 5 kills ahead for Legion. They're up 12k gold right now. So they were up 14k gold. So, you know, Curse slowly trying to build small advantages, see if they can take anything out here. Nunu is just so tanky. He does actually have a Zeke's Herald in addition to that Aegis of the Legion. It's been getting a lot of use lately. When it was first kind of built, it was first kind of implemented. I didn't see it a whole lot. Why is it now favored?
Well, it used to be Stark's Fervor way back when. It was an expensive item. It was pretty much good for, like, Tryndamere. Now, supports can pick it up. It's relatively cheap. You pick it up just so your carry can do more damage. And at this point in the game, you know, Demon Lull, any sort of attack speed he gets will just apply quite a bit more damage because he has the crit, he has the crit damage, he has the crit chance. He just has all the stats he needs, and any attack speed is going to be massive for him.
And it looks like Sona is building one of her own to counteract. Will he be able to steal this with the ultimate barrel? He does! Wild Turtle will go ahead and refresh that blue buff of his.
A great steal, you know, Gragas does have pretty long cooldowns, but when you do get the blue buff, you can more or less chain spam barrels, which is as awesome as it sounds. Demon Lull will be picking up his red buff to make up for the fact that he does not have Triforce, and just look how quickly he shoots out the rockets. If you see him in a fight, it's almost, I'd say, about half a second max between rockets coming out. His animation really just pushed to the max.
Yes, indeed. Inubish is going to go ahead and walk over to this Baron. There's the Vengeful Maelstrom. Legion is going to start this Baron. Will they be able to finish? What is Curse going to do to respond? Can they get in there? St. Fish is waiting for that key moment. A lot of more is knocked up there, but the twist advance onto St. Vicious. And there's Jackie with his ultimate onto 3 members of Legion with the Zion's Hourglass. It will stun all of them. Will Cop be able to clean up here? No, Legion is actually going to use that Blade Surge to pick up the kill on NY Jackie. And now Westrise, do you have your Sanguine Pool up? Not this time. You're going to go down. Cop to Cruiser. This is a 2-on-2 situation. Wild Turtle staying as far away as possible. Body slam picks up a quadra kill from Cop. But Wild Turtle with a great juke by Elements and a flash. That is going to be a 4-for-4 trade. Wild Turtle, do you want this? Can you make it up in time? I don't think so. That Hymn of Celerity is making Elements so fast. His ultimate is about to come up. When will it come up?
Can he do it?
That's an ace. That is an ace from Legion with an amazing pursuit from Wild Turtle, just saying, I'm Gragas, hear me roar.
And Legion isn't done yet. They're actually pushing the inhibitor. It was exposed before. Only person alive right now is Wild Turtle. And with that time, you know what? I can't kill Baron, but I can kill an inhibitor. The top turret actually did go down to Creeps. He will take down a second inhibitor. The Fat Man is doing as much as he can with that time. St. Vicious is back off. Wild Turtle will back off, but just getting completely dominated by that fight from Legion. Just with one person alive, they took out 2 inhibitors.
That pursuit was ridiculous. You know, and he used his ultimate. The only time he used his ultimate before was actually to steal that blue buff. The blue buff, had he not had it, he wouldn't have had the CDR to perhaps pick up that kill there onto Elements. So really, really lucky, but I'll say also really good timing on his part. He is strong right now.
Wild Turtle not afraid to abuse the incredibly short cooldown on his ultimate, actually setting up possibly a trap, waiting for somebody to head around to that blue buff, knowing something is up. Oh, St. Vicious, you do not want to be there.
What's going to happen? St. Vicious applies slam through the wall, followed by the ult at St. Vicious. You are in a bad place. A Twisted Advance does not care about your move speed. You actually make it worse for yourself, and he goes down. Wild Turtle now dominating a double buff Gragas with 380 CS. Westrice, this is a 4-on-5 in the advantage of Legion. Can they clean up and perhaps finish this game? The Zanias for Westrice. Do you have your pool up this time? It does not look like it, but can you clean up? Westrice with the pool there into 3 members of Legion. He goes down. Wild Turtle is now godlike. That is it's just, he's so scary. It's insane.
This could be game. Legion is fairly low, but you know, Demon Lord's at full HP. There will be a lot of regeneration on Wild Turtle. What do they do now? Because any sort of push could be the end of the game. There's only 3 people alive on Curse. This is scary. It looks like they're going to rotate towards Baron, though.
Curse right now is backpedaling. Looks like Baron is now up. Curse does have a ward on it, so they'll be able to see that Legion is going to go ahead and do it, but Curse can't respond. Curse can't do anything about it.
It's 3 people up. Even Wild Turtle is hanging around the mid lane because he knows they can't do anything. They slay Nasher. They have that buff. Once again, it had 15,000 gold. This game, you know, Curse has been holding on. They've been doing that magnificently. They have not lost the game yet, but it is so hard for them to do anything.
8-kill lead for Legion. They're up 15k gold, about 16k gold. It is looking dire for Curse. But I mean, it's really just that Legion is playing so well. Lauda Mortis on Maokai is one of the scariest things ever. 1-8 and 25 assists he had. And Gragas is, you know, CS again, nearing that 400 mark. The next closest person is going to be 300. That is Cop on Graves. So a full 100 CS lead for him. And then they picked up just about every dragon as well.
I do not believe Curse has actually taken a dragon. They've seen dragon, but they have not taken dragon, which is, you know, a bigger step. And the problem they're having is just they lost the early game. They have not had control of anything since those first turrets have gone down. They've only taken 2 turrets. That is nothing at this point in the game.
Yeah, only seeing that dragon is not enough. You can't stalk her from afar. You got to go up and say hello. But Wild Turtle and the rest of Legion have been courting that dragon very well, and it's working out for him. 2 inhibitors down for Curse, their top and bot. Only tower left standing other than the Nexus turrets for Curse is that tier 3 mid. Now that Legion has Baron, I mean, they're just going to sit mid lane all day and wait for the end.
Top lane will push in, bot lane will push in, the super creeps will build up. It's going to be hard to deal with. 4 super creeps per wave because 2 will spawn with each inhibitor being down, I believe, past the 40-minute mark. So there's about 300 damage coming in with each of those. Just bulky, hard-to-kill minions that will kill turrets in just seconds at this point. So if they do not defend every lane and the mid lane, they will just lose the game from attrition.
The only thing you know, some people don't know is that also not only do you get super creeps in lanes with inhibitors, but your other lanes, normal creeps, get a lot stronger as well.
And it looks like the push is coming on from Legion. They just want to find that one opening to really use Gragas' ultimate and just start the fight in their favor. See if St. Vicious makes a play and they can just counteract that.
Nah, Jackie very low on mana. He is very close to his fountain, but if he goes back, I feel like if anyone from Curse goes back right now, Legion's going to go ahead and take this turret. And there's Lauda Mortis taking some turret shots. Hasn't thrown out his ultimate just yet. There's the Gragas ultimate just to separate the team of Curse. Dark Binding does land long range a lot more. Saint Vicious will follow up on it with the Impale, but Saint takes a lot of damage himself. Lauda Mortis with the Soul Shackles and Hemo Plague on him. There's the Zanias from Westrice. Maokai falls. Nunu falls. Will this be a fight that Curse can win? Taking out the Guardian Angel of Cruiser. Saint falls though. Will Cop be able to kill Cruiser? He gets Blade Surged in, and he's actually getting stunned. He goes down, and he trades it with him. And now Demon Low. Can you kill Jackie? And now the crits are absolutely massive. The Zanias, but the Phospho Bomb may pick it up. Well, yes, it does. Elements. 2-on-1. What are you going to do? The ultimate again.
Wild Turtle, the last survivor.
An ace right there. Wow, Wild Turtle, how are you always the last man standing? What are you doing? People need to get on your level right now. Taking down the second Nexus turret. Gonna slowly turn his attention to the Nexus. I believe
it's 30 seconds till Vladimir's alive. He's got to auto attack it. It will die so quickly.
He could have a party right there. And actually, there's a surrender. That is going to be it. Oh, it didn't happen. There was the winner thing, but it went away.
The inhibitors respawn. He actually can't push. The inhibitors have all respawned.
All of them respawn.
Since the last time he was live in the
space
alone. Does he have enough
time? Now he's got 13 seconds before St. Vicious is up.
Big creep wave built up.
10 seconds before Westrice is up. Can you auto attack? Can you ham slap that Nexus? enough. What are you going
to do?
do?
Down to 1,500, down to 1,000, 700, 300. He will take this game. Wait, will you?
What are you
Turtle
doing?
trying to kill Westgate.
Thank
Oh
God.
my God, you troll.
Wild Turtle, what have you done to us? The winners right there, Team Legion, in this losers final, Legion versus Curse. Legion comes out one game ahead so far.
I mean, Curse, they have been dominating these